Greetings, MCS friends. This is Robert, your kitchen mathematician, coming to you live from the MCS Remote Learning Studios here in South Brooklyn, bucolic South Brooklyn. You can look that up if you like. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a math game that has to do with fractions. And for this, you'll need a few things, okay? Hopefully, and I think things that you'll find around the house. The first thing you'll need is a piece of cardboard, right? Now, I know a lot of you have probably been getting deliveries of various kinds over the last couple of weeks. So cardboard is a wonderful thing. Make sure you use it, right? Keep it, use it for the next couple of weeks because we're going to be making a lot of math materials by using it, okay? So cardboard, love it. If you don't have cardboard, you know, anything will work. I mean, a thin cardboard, it doesn't matter if you have, I mean, just tear apart an Amazon box or whatever you're getting things delivered in. I'm sure you've got cardboard around your house. These days, it's going to be valuable. You'll need that. You'll need scissor, right? This is Clyde. This is my home pair of scissors, right? I never lend these out. Clyde never leaves the building. You will need some pennies, right? About 30 pennies should do. You don't have to have that many pennies. You can do this I'm going to show you two different ways to make this activity. One where you're going to need a lot of pennies and one where you'll basically need one penny, okay? And what else do you need? Oh, marker is nice, okay? I'm not endorsing any particular brand of marker, but a marker that is, you know, whatever color you want. I don't really care. Color, we know, is a superficial feature and has no effect on the underlying functionality of the actual writing device. But we do want to use a marker. It makes things a little bit easier to see, right? Also, a piece of paper, okay? And if you, this is not, again, for different, depending on what version you make, you'll either need some sort of adhesive. You might need, you might have tape around the house, or maybe, I don't know if glue would be particularly suited for this, but tape or mounting squares, whatever you have, right? It's not essential. I'm going to show you two different ways of doing this, but either one will work, okay? So the first thing we need is, let's take our piece of paper. This is going to be our game board, and we're just going to cut it, not cut it, but we're going to just fold it into 4 pieces, right? So we go zoom like that, and like that, and that is not too hard, right? So far, so good. I haven't done anything that is beyond you. If your parents are confused by this, just provide them with some comfort. You know, it will get easier. So this is our game board. And the board we're making a game to practice combining fractions and identifying fractions. I'm just going to cut this, kind of cut it, but divide it into 4 equal pieces, which we all know as fourths. But this has nothing to do with the fractions. This is just your game board. If you want to decorate it, you know, you're probably going to need 2. You'll need one for you and one for your partner, which hopefully is maybe it's a parent. And I'm just going to say it's Robert's game board, so I know who it belongs to. Robert's game board. Everybody got it? Good. So, and then you're just going to write, in each box, you're going to write the number 1. Because that's what the goal of the game is. The goal of the game is to get 1 in each of to get 1 whole in each of the 4 areas. Okay? So far, so good? Good. The next thing you're going to need is this piece of cardboard. Okay? Doesn't matter, you know, what type of cardboard, doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter. It's all superficial, right? Even the size doesn't matter. So you're going to cut it up anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to need 10 cards, which are about, I'm not going to say an exact size because, I mean, you could if you like using a ruler, but I'm going to make them about this big. See that? About that big, okay? And I'm just going to make 10 of them. So 2, 3. You know, you can see I'm very good with scissors here because we all know Robert went to scissor camp when he was 6 years old, spent a week there. Long Island Scissor Academy. I am a graduate. That's why I'm so good with these, right? There we go. And if you notice, I can just line them up like that. There's 4 of my cards. Let's do another set. All right, let's see, just go down here. Right, no time at all, right? Right, get your scissor skills up to date, right? That's what we're gonna do here. So, another 4 more. 1, 2. Do you need some music or anything to do this? 3, 4. So that gives me 8, right, cards. Let's make a few more. Let's make 2 more. Just so we have an even 10. When you see the game, you'll realize that you might need more, you might need fewer, but it really doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter. 10 is a good number to have on hand, okay? So here we go. We have our 10 cards, right? We have our coins. You need a whole batch of coins. You need some tape. And I'm going to change the position of the camera so you can see what I'm going to do a little bit better. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Okay, here we go. We're back. Whoops. Hopefully we'll still see it from here. Good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take out 6 coins. This is our first version of the game, right? 6 coins. Everybody got that, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say that 6 coins is equal to 1 whole, right? Everybody got it? So these 6 coins is 1 whole. So what I'm going to do is, and since each coin is called a sixth, we'll say 6 coins. And I think I'm just going to draw this today, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to decorate these, be my guest. And we're going to say this is 1 whole. Okay? And we could write that like this as 1. Or, to write it as a fraction, we say 1 whole. Okay? The 1 on the bottom is pronounced as a whole. Okay? And that little line in the middle we know is called the vinculum. Very good. Okay? Now, is that the only way that we could write this as 1 whole? Right? We could also say, if we drew this as 6 coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that each of these coins, like a single coin, is 1/6, right? But if I look at them all together, I could say it's also 6/6. Okay? So they're all the same. I know the circles are not all the same. You know, I didn't go to circle camp, so. Okay. Now, that's our first 2 cards, okay? Now what we're going to do is, we're going to make some other cards, okay? We're going to make, suppose we decided to cut this into 2 groups, right? Divide into 2 groups. We see that there are 3 coins in each group, and therefore we could say that it is a half, that 3 coins is a half. So I'll draw 3 coins, 1, 2, 3, and I'll call that 1/2. Okay, right? So I have 2 equal groups here, so I'll call that a half, right? I could also call it, since each one is made up of 6, right? I can also say that this is 1, 2, 3, and it is also 3/6. So when we say 1/2 and 3/6, we're really talking about the same thing, right? Which is what makes fractions a little bit confusing, is that you could say the same thing, that 2 things mean the same things. But, you know, we use that in language all the time, right? Irate and anger and angry are the same word. So think of it like that. They're synonyms of each other, okay? What else can we do? We can divide this into 3 groups, right? And when you divide something into 3 groups, we call those thirds, right? And there are 2 coins in each group. So we would say that 2 coins is equal to 1/3. Okay? Or we can take, since each coin is also 1/6, we could say that 2/6, that this is also known as 2/6. Okay, everybody good? Okay. Now, what else can we do here? So we made halves by dividing it into two groups. We divided it into thirds by doing this. We really can't really do anything more, but we can do is we can divide them into single coins, right? And if we do that, we know that each coin is known as 1/6, right? And 2 coins is 2/6, right? 3 coins we saw before was 3/6, right? So if we have 3 coins, it's 3/6. Now, the other thing we can do is we can say, let's put 4 coins together over here, and that gives us something we call 4/6, right? Because we just have 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6. We'll call that 4/6, okay? But because this is fractions, there's another possibility. We can also say that this is, remember these were thirds, 2 coins was thirds, right? We could say it's 1, and this is 1/3, and this is another third. We would say 2/3, okay? So 4 coins, besides being 4/6, is also 2/3, right? Because we have 3 groups, right? And 2 of those groups together, it has nothing to do with the fact that there are 2 coins in each group. It has to do with the fact that we selected 2 of those groups out of 3, right? And there were 4 coins there. That's 2/3, okay? I think the last one we haven't done yet is this one over here, right? We select 5 coins out of the 6, right? And we call that 5/6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we call that 5/6. Okay? Everybody good? Okay. I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the camera now that we have all our materials, right? We have our 10 cards here, right? We have our game board, we have some pennies here, right? To make it happen, right? Okay. Actually, I didn't need the tape, did I? Whatever. Clyde. Okay. Done with that. Okay. So now I'm going to reset the board and then we're going to play the game. Okay? See you in a minute. Welcome back. Are we ready to play? Super. So, if you remember, we have a game board, Robert's game board, and hopefully your partner has a game board as well. Okay, we have our cards that we made, right? And we'll just shuffle them around a little bit just to make it, just because it's good to shuffle, right? Everybody wants their cards in any order. Good. We have our pennies. Okay, you will need 24 pennies, right? Okay, the reason is that your goal is to get each of these equal to 1. And if you remember, 1 whole is equal to 6 pennies, right? So your goal is to get 6 pennies on each of these, into each of these boxes, okay? And the way you can do that is that there are 2 ways that you can move, you can put pennies on the board or move them around the board, okay? What you do is you take a card, right, from the top, and we look at it, and we see here we have 2/6, okay? So I get 2/6, which means that I have to take 2 pennies, right, because each penny is 1/6, right? So I put it on the board over here, okay? Maybe I'll just turn it upside down like this so you can see it. So now I have 2/6 on the board, right? Okay, I let my player go, I take this card, I put it back here, okay? And then they do the same thing, and then I get my next card, right? My next card shows 1 penny, and it is 1/6, okay? Now I can choose where I want to put that. I may want to put it here, right? And if you'll see, that'll give me 3/6, or I could put that 1/6 somewhere else, right? Okay? So that's your choice. You can either put it on the same thing. Remember, you want to get 6 on in every box, right? So it depends on what your strategy would be. I'll let my opponent go, right? Then it's my turn, right? Now I get 1 or 1 whole, right? Which is good, which means I get to fill in one of these one of these boards, right? Which means I am really finished with this. I'll do this one over here. You know, could I put them in here or here? Yeah, but why would I want to, right? I mean, I'm just gonna have to move it around later. And there is a possibility of moving, which I'll show you on the next turn. So my opponent goes, right? Bazinga, my turn, right? I'm not going to use that because we already did that. Oh, here we go. So 1/2, right? So 1/2 we see here is equal to 3 coins, right? It's equal to 3 6. So what could I do? I could take those 3 coins. I could put them over here. I could put them over here. I could start a new box to start in. Maybe I'll put them over here, right? So I have 3 6. Now I have 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6. How many 6s do I need in order to fill this in? Right. Okay, so I keep on going, right? Now here's another thing you can do. You might find that you want to move coins around, right? That you say, okay, maybe I want to move some from here to here to make an easier fraction. You know, some fractions aren't going to show up a lot. 1/6, we only made one card that has 1/6 on it, right? And so that's not going to show up too often. So you may want to decide to move some of your pennies around, because we know that 3 6 and 1/2 are the same, and that might show up a little bit more often, right? So I picked 3 6 here. Now here's the thing though, is that I get 3 pennies, right? 3 6, but I have to put them all into one box. I can't just distribute them and say, okay, I'll put 1 here and 2 here. I have to put, this is where the challenge and the strategy of the game comes in, okay? So I have to take those 3 6, and I can't, or half of a whole, right, and put them somewhere, right? So maybe I'll put them over here. So I'll put 1, 2, 3 over here. So I need 1 6 in order to finish this one. I'm gonna need 2 6, also known as 1/3 to finish this one, and this one I haven't started yet. So, okay, let's go to my next card. Oh, 2/3. So 2/3 is equal to, we know, 4 of the 4 6, right? So what am I going to do? I could take 4 6 over here, and that may be something I'm willing to do to help me, right? To get started on this, because this is not. But I might want to say, well, why don't I take these 4 6 and move them over here, which is also possible. So there's a bit of strategy. I think I'm going to put 4 6 over here. Okay. The only problem with that, as I see, is that I'm going to need some pretty small numbers, right? Pretty small fractions in order to finish this. This one will need 1 6. This one will need 2 6, and I'll need 2 6 over here. So let's see what comes up. Okay. 1/3. And I see that 1/3 is equal to 2 coins. And as I come over here, I see, oh, that's a good thing. I can't fill in this one over here. I have 1 6 left over here. But if I look over here, I rearrange it, I see I have 1/3 here, 1/3 here. And here's the other third, 2 coins. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, right? Or if you want to think about it in thirds, it's 1, 2, and 3/3. So this is finished, right? So I still have to finish this one over here and this one over here, right? Now you're probably wondering, what do you do if you get a card that you can't use? Well, it's very simple. You lose a turn. That's life. And that is going to happen to me here because I have 4 6. There's nothing I can do, right? I can't have more than one hole in each of these boxes, right? One hole in each of these boxes. So lose my turn. Okay? Everybody okay so far? Okay? Good. Okay? Here I go, 5 6. Nope, can't do anything with that. Okay? 2 6. Ah, yes, look. Now I only have 1 6 left over here, but I do have 2 6 left over. I have 4 6 over here. I can put in my 2 6 over there, and I've completed that one. So what am I waiting for here? 1 6. So I'm just going to keep on going through the deck with my partner, and when I get 1 6, which hopefully will come up soon, let's see. 1 6! Yay! 1 6, right? There we go. And I'm finished. I have finished my board. Each piece has 1, better known as 6 6, right? And hopefully you're a good sport when you play this game. You don't go, you don't have to do a dance in the end zone or something. Remember what I taught you is that, what do we do? Say, good game. Want to play again? Anyway, so that's the game. And I'm going to show you in the next reel how to turn this game. You can not only do this with 6, but we can also do it with 8ths, and we can do it with any fraction you want. I started with 6 because it uses the least number of coins, right? But we'll get to that on the next reel, okay? So it is Robert, your kitchen mathematician, and because you've waited this long, and I know you're so interested, I'm going to play the concertina.